Welcome to the University of Concordia in Irvine side of today's California Collegiate League matchup between the home team Orange County Riptide and the visiting Conejo Oaks. These two teams have both played 4 games in league on the season, and they have opposite records. The Riptide not off to the hottest start, hold a 1-3 record, and the Conejo Oaks 3-1 on the season. But they're looking to get back on track against this strong Oaks team that has been really piling up the runs. They played 3 games against the San Luis Obispo Blues and took 2 of 3, and their only loss came by 1 run where they lost 5-4. They won that first game 13-6. So they have a lot of good hitting and a lot of good pitching as well. The man on the mound for them is going to be Nate Wenner. And Nate Wenner, he's a senior out of Cal Lutheran. He's from Bellevue, Washington. Cal Lutheran, of course, in the SCIAC Conference, a rival of my college, Chapman University. And they have a very good baseball program there. They actually beat us in the playoffs this year. And now we're over on the California Collegiate League. I'm Michael Hofling. Thank you for joining us. It's going to be the Oaks to lead things off as we are at home. And leading off is going to be number 21, Jason Oliver. He's going to be playing right field as well. Jason Oliver, the senior righty from Cal State Bakersfield, 6'1", 195, and he's from Bakersfield, California as well. First pitch from Orndorff, a big swing and a miss. Orndorff is the man on the mound, making his first appearance in league play for the Riptide. There was a lot of speculation whether or not he might be the opening day starter. His second pitch is fouled off straight back. 0-2 the count. There's a lot of speculation whether or not he was going to start on opening day against Arroyo Seco in Pasadena. But eventually, head coach Tiger Peterson decided to go with Charlie Vorschek. The 0-2, a big cut and miss. David Orndorff gets Jason Oliver swinging for the first out of the game. Good sign. And they want to get back on top after yesterday's loss to the Ventura Halos. That was a close game, despite what the score might say. 8-5. Really had a tough second inning. Sam Miller, the starter, got out after just 2 innings, giving up 5 runs. Will Tomlinson came in and settled down, gave up no earned runs, 2 runs, though, over the next couple of innings. They climbed back, made it a 3-run deficit. First pitch to the second batter, Max Weinstein. Fouls it back to the right side. It's 0-1. Not the best day here in Concordia. The 0-1, a slider outside. A little check. He did not go, though. It's 1-1. First ball thrown by Orndorff in this game. It's a little bit cloudy today and drizzling. It's been drizzling for a while now, and my notes are all wet, but it's all right. Still a beautiful day for baseball. Any day is a good day for baseball. The 1-1 is a smackaroo up the middle. Parente is going to cut it off right past the reach of Proctor. And now there's going to be 1 on and 1 out for Frankie Tostado. And that's something Weinstein's going to be able to do the entire time. Weinstein had a batting average of 500 through the first 4 games, now above 500 on the season. 8 for 15. He only has 1 extra base hit, though. A double. So it doesn't quite have the power, but he's a spectacular table setter for the Oaks. Now here comes Tostado. Orndorff to Tostado. A changeup down low, 1-0. Tostado the first lefty seen. Out of Oxnard College, Frankie Tostado. The 1-0 is a foul off to the right side, just beyond the foul line. Taking a look at the lineup for the Conejo Oaks, leading off Jason Oliver, Max Weinstein, he's on first, he's batting second, then Frankie Tostado, Chase Cockrell, he's DHing, Grant Miu, Brandon Lewis, Cody Santana, Juan Gonzalez, and DJ Miller. And that finishes it off. Pickoff attempt. Weinstein dives back in safely, gets a little dirty. Weinstein doesn't have the greatest speed, but he is scrappy. and he can steal a base if you don't pay attention to him. The 1-1 pitch. Another pickoff attempt. Very quick. Something I noticed there, Orndorff was actually setting up in the windup, so maybe he noticed he was not in the right position, and he just had to move around, so might as well throw another pickoff attempt. 2.5-step lead for Weinstein at first. The 1-1. Swung on and popped up into shallow right field. Greenfield coming in, and he will make the basket catch. Running tough, losing his hat on the run. Now there's 2 outs. Orndorff comes to the plate with a fastball, 2-seam fastball, changeup and slider, 4-pitch guy. He also has a 2-seam sinker that he doesn't throw very often, but Andrews, the man behind the plate, was thinking about throwing it in there. I heard them discussing signs earlier. Not going to tell anybody that because there might be Conejo Oaks spies listening in on this one. That being said, I trust all you guys. First pitch is a ball outside to Chase Cockrell. Chase Cockrell, the junior infielder from Ole Miss. He's from Louisiana as well. The 1-0 is popped up, stays pretty much on the infield. Shortstop Bo Phillip is underneath it and gets it for out number 3. So a very quick inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Orndorff doing nicely against this strong Conejo Oaks team. 0-0 after the top of the first. We'll stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Loeffling. We'll be right back. It's the Riptide's turn here at University of Concordia in Irvine. I'm Michael Loeffling. Thank you for listening to the OC Riptide Network, and it's going to be Joey Parente. He's going to lead it off against the Oaks pitcher, Nate Wenner. Nate Wenner, fastball, curve, cutter, changeup. That curve is his strikeout pitch, but if he needs a ground ball, he's always got that cutter. Cuts in very nicely, late break on left-handed hitters. It causes a lot of people to roll over. Goes in on the hands of lefties, like Parente is, and goes away to right-handers, causes them to hit off the end of the bat. If you know he throws a cutter, though, you'll know that he throws that pretty much primarily when he's behind in the count. And the pitch outside with the fastball, it's 2-0. Yesterday, Parente did pretty well, went 1 for 2, then got taken out of the game. He grounded back to the pitcher and was a little bit frustrated with himself and didn't run it out. Tiger Peterson tried to send a message to his team and got taken out of the game, but he's back in there today. Here he grounds this one up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit right out of the reach of Weinstein at second base. And Parente is going for 2. And he is safe at second base. Slid over the tag of the shortstop, Miu. That is what you call hustle. Joey Parente, the father of speed. That's why he's going to get drafted, everybody. He is just smart, wily, and has got a passion, and he is ferocious out there on the base paths. His family here in attendance. So call that a leadoff double, and already they have a runner in scoring position. Looked like he might be out. Second baseman, the shortstop, Mayu, had the ball in his glove before Parente got to second, but just was able to avoid the tag, doing his best Dustin Pedroia impression. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look that up on YouTube. It's quite a spectacle. Now it's Will Proctor. Will Proctor had a good day yesterday. 2 for 5 with a triple and a single. Came around to score twice. Also pitched in the 9th inning. It's 0-1 to Proctor. Not a big lead for Parente. Here's a ground ball to the third baseman, Lewis. He bobbles it, but gets it over to first to Santana for out number 1. Parente stays still at second. Now there's one away for David Miranda. Miranda currently tied with Jason Oliver for 6th in the CCL in RBIs. They both have 5. They have been RBI machines, reminiscent of Adrian Gonzalez in his early days with the Dodgers. David Miranda out of Florida Atlantic University. He's been playing right field the previous 3 league games for them. Previous 4 league games, excuse me. And his first day where he doesn't have to play in the field. Miranda's got a good eye. And looking to drive in Parente at second. One of the coldest games that we've experienced here in Irvine. First pitch to Miranda, a curveball just outside, 1-0. So Wayner standing all the way to the right side of the rubber. That might help his cutter. That's why he likes to stand out there. That cutter might start just outside and cut back in, using a lot of that backdoor technique. Doesn't have a slider. Parente runs, and the throw is high. Parente will be safe at third, and now there's a runner at third with only 1 out. Anything's going to score him. Just don't pop it up or strike out. So a stolen base for Parente, his second on the year in league play. It's tough to steal third, especially against a catcher like Gonzalez. Gonzalez very tough to throw out. Very tough to catch off guard, but Parente even tougher to throw out. His second stolen base in 2 attempts. The 2-0, a fastball down low in the dirt. Nice stop by Gonzalez behind the plate. Pushes it to 3-0 with only 1 out, and Miranda waiting on deck is Eric Wagaman, the third baseman. Wagaman's been doing pretty well at getting RBIs himself. Currently in the top 25 in the California Collegiate League. The 3-0 pitch. Cutter on the outside corner, 3-1. The Concordia University Center looming large out beyond right field. Library closed just to the left of it, out behind the batter's eye in center. The 3-1. Another cutter, but this one's down low just below the knees. Ball 4, Miranda's going to take a walk down to first. And now it's first and third. We're going to see if there's any 31 shenanigans going on. Now Eric Wagaman, the man out of Houston. His teammates like to call him Wags because he wags that bat around like it's just a light stick. Uses one of the heaviest bats on the team and still is able to get those hands around so fast. That's why he's been in the cleanup spot for all 4 games for this team. Currently tied with Miranda for the most extra base hits. And the first pitch to Wagaman. Outside, ball 1. Winner seems to be staying away from the hitters. Doesn't want to get in too tight and give him something good to hit. His first appearance of the year in league play. The 1-0 to Wagaman. This one's drilled into center field. Tostado steps back. Parente is going to go home. He is safe. And Miranda is going to tag from first as well. So Wagaman manufactures a run with the sacrifice fly. It's 1-0 Riptide. Still with the runner on second now, 2 away, but it's Logan Polson. And Polson, one of the best hitters. He is best hitters on the Riptide. He is so good at taking what the pitcher gives him. You look at him and you think he's a pull hitter, but if you recall in their win against the Santa Barbara Foresters, the pitchers were staying away from him, not giving it into his wheelhouse middle in. He was just pushing him to the other side, got 2 base hits and 3 RBIs to the left field. One of the 3 left-handed hitters in this Riptide lineup. We've already seen the other 2, Parente and Miranda. He's the man on second. Parente just scored. Logan Polson, first pitch. Down in the dirt with the changeup, 1-0. Finishing off the lineup for the Riptide, after Polson, it's going to be Aaron Greenfield, followed by Luke Husung, Mitch Andrews, and Bo Phillip. Winner still having a little bit of difficulty coming in, but you don't want to come into Polson. There he comes in a little bit. Check swing and a miss. That's the first strike of the at-bat. It's 1-1. A leadoff double from Parente, followed by a stolen base, a walk to Miranda, and a sacrifice fly. And that's how we got here. 1 run in the bottom of the first. Riptide lead for the first time in the past 3 games. They have the lead. Pickoff attempt, and that goes into center field. Miranda can't get up in time. He's going to stay at second. Mayu couldn't handle that throw. Winner's pickoff attempt was in the dirt. Would have been a good pick off the dirt, but that's tough to do. A good play between the 2 of them there. Juan Gonzalez back in the squad, giving him the signals. 1-1 the count to Polson. And the 1-1. Big hack and a miss. 1-2. That's what you call the most important pitch of the at-bat, the 1-1 pitch. If it's a ball, you're much in the hitter's advantage. If it's 1-2, you're much in the pitcher's advantage. So right now, Polson with 2 strikes. But as I said, he does very well at taking what the pitcher gives him. Winner has been staying away, and we know Polson can go away if he has to. The 1-2. Swung on and fouled back to the left side. Out of play. 1-2. The count remains. Runner on second is David Miranda. Got there via a walk and then took advantage of a sacrifice fly. While they were thrown home trying to get Parente, he took second. Shortstop Mayu moving in a little bit close. The 2-seam fastball there is low and outside, 2-2. Good stop by Gonzalez, not allowing Miranda to take third. Miranda doesn't quite have the wheels to steal, but on a pass ball, watch him go. Already somebody in the bullpen for the Oaks, Jake Sylvester. Foul tip here. Juan Gonzalez couldn't keep that one in his mitt. And we'll do 2-2, take 2. One and one the count to Mike, and it's a nice pitch, fastball on the inside corner. 1-2 the count runs. David Orndorff out of Cincinnati, the Bearcats, and the 1-2, the curve on the inside corner. He got him looking. Grab some pine, Mayu. Orndorff's second strikeout. First one looking, and that's going to bring up Brandon Lewis, the third baseman. Hopefully we can fix that video stream. Sorry about that. We just can't handle when the ball gets hit into the chain link fence. That's what messes it up. First pitch to Lewis. Fastball low and outside. Nice pick by Mitch Andrews behind the plate. The defensive lineup that the Riptide bring to the table this afternoon. From left to right, Luke Husung, Joey Parente, and Aaron Greenfield. At first is Logan Poulsen. Over in the hot corner, Eric Wagaman. At short, it's Bo Phillip. And at second, Will Proctor. Only difference is behind the plate. Instead of Jake Polshin, it's Mitch Andrews, the Texas State University man from Vidor, Texas. And on the mound, David Orndorff. Yesterday, Greenfield was in left, and Husung was DHing, and Miranda was out in right. And there's a walk to Lewis, first base runner at the top of the second. But today they're going with something different. They want Husung's great glove out in the field this afternoon. Once again, the infield remains the same. Early on in the season, we saw Polshin coming off the bench. We saw Phil Steering and Jake Polshin spend time over there at the hot corner's brother. Now Polshin has seemingly taken over the position. Phil Steering came in late last game for his defensive work. Here Santana rips it into right center field. That's going to be in the gap. And Grass kills it right away. They're going to send Lewis around third. The throw to home. And Andrews gets it out of play. Wow, what a throw for Proctor in shallow right field. Great relay. I'm sorry if I sort of just blew out everybody's microphones back home, but that was a spectacular relay. To keep this game in the Riptide's favor, they are up 1-0 still, and that is just textbook relay defense from Greenfield and Proctor. So if you're marking that down, that's a double for Santana, and then a 9-4-2 for out number 2.
Well-known baseball program, amongst other things, besides the technology. And Oaks had a couple of second guys last year.
Coming up to the plate now is the catcher, Juan Gonzalez. First pitch to Gonzalez is a fastball down low in the dirt, 1-0. So Gonzalez resting that bat on his shoulder, reminiscent of Cliff Floyd. Back with the early 2000s Mets. Now he's doing a little bat wiggle. 1-0 the count to Gonzalez. Orndorff's pitch. Fastball at the knees. 1-1 the count is even.
How do you think that Summer League is, how do you like Summer League? Do you like it better than regular?
So Cody Santana, the man on second, unable to drive in that run after a nice defensive play. Now Gonzalez has the opportunity with 2 outs. He fouls this one straight back right above our heads and into what I call the jungle, because no one's ever going to find those. Count is 2-2 now. And Gonzalez, some of the nicest locks I've ever seen, especially from a catcher. You think about John Jaso, another man with great hair behind the plate. See it flowing out of his mask when he's on defense. The 2-2 pitch, a little pickoff attempt, nothing doing though. Nobody even around second base, just trying to make sure Santana wasn't doing anything.
It was just one of those things, like, you had to be there, man. It really gave everybody a laugh.
So Juan Gonzalez out of Oklahoma Baptist, he pops this one up to right center field. Greenfield is underneath it and retires his man for out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit, and the great defensive play keeps this game 1-0 in favor of the Riptide. They're up to bat. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Loeffling. Stay tuned. Bottom of the second now. Aaron Greenfield going to lead things off for the Riptide. They're up 1-0. Great first 2 innings pitched by David Orndorff, the man out of Cincinnati. And now Nate Wenner returns out to the mound, and he's going to face Greenfield. First pitch, fastball just above the letters, 1-0. And Aaron Greenfield yesterday had a couple of base knocks and a walk. Contributed to, unfortunately, a loss. But he has been a valuable bat and a good glove as well, as if you couldn't tell by that last half inning where he threw out a potential scorer, rounding third with the help of Will Proctor and Mitch Andrews behind the plate.
Loves to talk and tell stories.
1-1, the count to Greenfield and the pitch. A fastball right there at the inside corner, 1-2. Head coach David Solis, last time in the bottom of the first, he had somebody working out there. Now the bullpen is empty, but he likes seeing this from Wenner. In the bottom of the first, he wasn't really coming into hitters, but there the first 2 strikes, both on the inside part of the plate. And the 1-2, a little cutter low and away. Nice movement by Gonzalez, keeping that in front of him. 2-2, the count is even.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1 run, 1 hit, no
Greenfield, somebody dughouse, a dugout guy, good guy to have in the dugout. Very fun, good rapport with his teammates. If you weren't listening to the broadcast yesterday, I told a story about how in the game against the Santa Barbara Foresters up at Pershing Park in Santa Barbara, Greenfield was messing with everybody in the on-deck circle. He takes that. It was a cutter low and away. Ball 4. Greenfield's going to head down the first, leadoff walk. Second walk of the day for Wenner. That's going to be 1 on for Luke Husung. But as I was saying, Greenfield, he was messing with everybody in the on-deck circle. Wagaman was on deck, and Miranda was up to bat. And the count was 2-2 to Miranda, and the ball was thrown. Wagaman started heading up to the plate, and there was a heckler just behind home plate, and the heckler said, "Come on, you got to know the count, 20." And Greenfield just said, "Let him hear it, let him hear it." So sort of messing with Wagaman and joking around. Everybody was smiling, and then the 3-2 pitch was thrown. It was a ball again, and Wagaman waited about 5 seconds before he stepped up. Didn't want to get any more of that. Greenfield on first after the leadoff walk. It's 0-1, the count to Husung. There's a swing back up the middle, but gotten by Wenner. 1-6, not in time. Husung has the wheels. And Husung's going to be on first now after the fielder's choice. Now it's Mitch Andrews, the catcher, splitting time with Jake Pulsion behind the plate. One of the few Texas players that the Riptide have. A couple more coming in later this week from Texas Tech. Andrews, one of the funniest guys on this team. You should have seen him on the bus ride teaching a bunch of the Riptide players how to play poker. Trying to get a bunch of ones so they could all risk some money. Husung steals, and he is safe there at second. Second stolen base of the day for the Riptide. And Husung has that speed, puts him in scoring position now for the 8 and 9 hitters. Bo Phillip, the man on deck. Andrews out of Lamar University in Texas. He's a Southern man. Chicago Cubs fan, actually. He's getting a little bit of crap from a lot of the coaches. He pops this one high into left field. DJ Miller is underneath it. Moves to his right. Husung tags, and he is safe at third. So there's going to be 2 away and a runner on third. That's a little bit of a questionable call from Husung. Like, now he's 90 feet closer, but with 2 outs, it doesn't really make a difference. Albeit an infield single will score you, but still. 2 outs, it's a lot tougher to score. With 1 out, I love that aggressive base running, but right there, it's a little bit difficult to encourage that.
2 away here, runner on third base in the form of Lucas Sung and Bo Phillip, the number 9 hitter from San Joaquin Delta College.
DJ Miller just wandered on over to his left, making that catch, and now it's Bo Phillip. Bottom of the order. On deck, the top of the order, Joey Parente. Phillip did not have a base hit yesterday. Got on twice, though, via the walk. 0-1 the count to Phillip. And the pitch. Down low in the dirt. 1-1.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Riptide.
Riptide lead 1-0. We're in the bottom of the second. That 1 run coming after a leadoff double in the bottom of the first by Joey Parente. Here he check swings and it gets away from Gonzalez, and Husung will score on the pass ball. Very aggressive base running, and I guess that sacrifice fly, tagging up from second with 2 outs, paid off. That's one of the reasons. What do I know about baseball? That's why I'm broadcasting and not coaching. And now Jake Sylvester's going to head back out to the bullpen. Second time he's come out in 2 innings. And now they have 2 runs on 1 hit. Something you don't see every day. Phillip fouls this one straight back. Count goes to 1-2. 2-0 Riptide after that wild pitch scored Luke Husung. On deck is Joey Parente. Nobody on base. The 1-2. A cutter on the outside part of the plate, fouled off by Phillip. Count will remain 1-2. This is take 3. Earlier in the day it was drizzling a little bit. Seems like it's calmed down. There were some harsh winds as well. Had to use a lot of my tape to keep my notes down, and had to help another fellow broadcaster out with his notes as well. Actually blew over one of our umbrellas. And the 1-2 pitch is a fastball low and outside corner. That's going to get Phillip looking. Second strikeout of the game for Wenner. 1 run, no hits, and nobody left on base. We'll be right back with the 3rd inning at Concordia University in Irving. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. Top of the 3rd, it's 2-0 Riptide. And DJ Miller, the bottom of the lineup for the Oaks, is going to lead it off. So it's 9-1-2, Miller, Oliver, and Weinstein. And Miller going to call time there. Something Orndorff has done very well is pitch at his pace. Has not allowed the Oaks to control tempo. First pitch to Miller from Orndorff is low and away, 1-0. 2 runs on 1 hit for the Riptide. That only hit a double by Joey Parente. There's a fastball just below the knees, 2-0. No runs on 2 hits for the Oaks. And nice defense that the Riptide have been portraying thus far. And here's a little chip shot. And that looked like a pool shot. That looked like a trick shot, something you won't see every now and again. I didn't know there was a leftward sloping right field line. I'm sorry if that didn't make any sense, but that started in foul territory and curled back, and Orndorff got and just tossed it on over the first for out number 1. That's going to bring up the top of the lineup, Jason Oliver. Oliver, one of the 2 Oaks strikeouts on the day for Orndorff.
The speedy Bakersfield Roadrunner steps in, takes a couple practice swings.
Oliver, one of the many Riptide, one of the many Oaks players to have a home run on the season. Count is 1-0. And the pitch. This is drilled into right center field. Proctor moving back and gets it for out number 2. Sorry for the silence there for a little bit. I was trying to figure out exactly how many of the Oaks players have home runs in league play this year. And it's Jason Oliver, Grant Mayu, Frankie Tostado, Brandon Lewis, and Cody Santana each have at least 1 home run. Compare that to the Riptide. Not a single player with home run in league play. Only player with a home run at all is Luke Husung. Max Weinstein drills this one into right field, and he has his second base hit of the game, albeit with 2 outs. Now here comes Frankie Tostada, one of those guys with a home run on the year. Tostado 0 for 1, flew out to Greenfield in right. It was shallow right field. Proctor and Greenfield, not sure who was going to get it. Greenfield had to make a long run, actually lost his hat while he was running after it. First pitch, a fastball inside, way inside, but a nice block there by Andrews. 1-0. Polson over there holding on Weinstein. 2.5 step lead. Weinstein doesn't have the greatest speed, but don't pay attention to him and he might make you pay. Pickoff attempt. Weinstein gets back in safely. Count is 1-0. It's 2-0 Riptide. The batter is Frankie Tostado, and the pitch. Big swing and a miss. They call that a yuckadoo hack. He was trying to hit a 5-run home run. Tostado, the junior out of Oxnard College in California, 6'2", 215, and he's a lefty. Here he swings and fouls that one off. It's 1-2 now. Couple players from Oxnard College on this team, along with Jackson Simonsgard. Orndorff, the man on the mound. He's pitched spectacularly thus far, had some good defense behind him. Only allowed 3 hits. Looking to finish this 3rd inning. Another pickoff attempt over for Weinstein.
Only one other Division I college that are the Bearcats in the United States.
And they're going to settle back in. 1-2, the count remains. 2 outs. Top of the 3rd. Man on deck is Chase Cockrell. He's 0 for 1. The 1-2 is lined into right field. That's going to be a base hit, and it might hit the gap. Weinstein's going to round second. They're going to fire it back into second, and it is a single for Tostado. And we have runners at first and third with 2 outs for Chase Cockrell.
Making way for the big bat of Chase Cockrell. There's only one other Division I school in NCAA with the mascot of the Bearcats. They are green and black. The school is in New York. Jonah, what is that school? Is this your trivia question for today?
Awaiting the first pitch, Cockrell digs in. Defense lined up pretty straight away. Parente shading slightly to the left of second base. And the second baseman, Proctor, moving a little bit close, expecting him to pull, and he does into the 56 hole. That one's going to score a run. Weinstein comes in to score. Cockrell on the first pitch drills an RBI single, and they have cut that deficit in half. It's 2-1 Riptide lead.
Yeah, Cockrell's done a nice job responding after going over 7.
Now Grant Mayu up to the plate. So after 2 quick outs by Orndorff, giving up 3 straight singles, and he might be struggling. Now 5 hits on the day through 3 innings. First pitch to Mayu. Orndorff. Mayu drills this into center. Parente got a big arm and a smart option there by Frankie Tostado. Holds up at third. Does not want to get drilled at home for the second time. The Oaks have already been cut down once. A nice defensive effort from Greenfield and Proctor doing a relay and cutting down a potential scorer in the second. And now Marcus Pointer, the pitching coach, going to go out and talk to his man Orndorff on the mound. Pointer last year was in the Alaska League and was a teammate of head coach Tiger Peterson at the University of Pacific. He has a lot of knowledge in that noggin about pitching. Probably just trying to get Orndorff to relax, trying to remind him what he's got to do. It's a big man. Brandon Lewis coming up. He walked his first time up. So Brandon Lewis getting ready to take some hacks. Walked on 5 pitches his first time up. He was the man that got cut down at the plate in the second.
Central New York. As Brandon Lewis steps in, 1 for 5 on the season is Jonah and Trivia.
First pitch. Fastball outside, it's 1-0. Lewis out of Los Angeles Pierce Junior College. It's going to be his junior year next year. First baseman. Playing third today. He's a fastball on the inside corner. 1-1, the count is even. And he hails from Porter Ranch. Not a very populous town, but a beautiful town. Orndorff has the bases loaded, trying to get that final out. The pitch. Slider right there. 1-2.
But it's called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. So the powerful lefty committed to CSUN in the ball.
So Lewis, the third baseman, finds himself down the count 1-2. Orndorff trying to get out of this inning with as little damage done as possible. Only 1 run across. The Riptide still have the lead 2-1. They have those 2 runs on only 1 hit. 1 run on 6 hits for the Oaks through just 2 2/3. The 1-2 fouled straight back. Some of the fans got a little bit more than they asked for, flinching behind the plate. Count remains 1-2, and we'll do it all over again. Mitch Andrews behind the plate. Splitting time with Pulsion. The Riptide just got Cooper Ohl back in that first game against the Forsters of that 2-game set. He took a ball that bounced in the dirt in front of him, took it underneath the mask and hit him in the chin. Said he was feeling dizzy, couldn't make it to the game against the Foresters in Santa Barbara. Here's a slider, swung on and missed by Lewis. 3rd strikeout of the game for Orndorff. And they get out of the inning with as little damage done as possible. Only 1 run across. The Riptide still lead 2-1. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. We'll be right back. Back to the top of the lineup for the second time round. The Riptide lead this one 2-1. Joey Parente has one of those two, a leadoff double in the bottom of the first. He stole third and then scored. Let's see if he can do it again. First pitch, a curveball right down Main Street, 0-1. Wenner remains out there, run to a little bit of difficulty in both his 2 innings of work, and head coach David Solis for the Oaks getting Sylvester out there, Jake Sylvester. But he has not had reason to take him out yet. Parente lines this one to the left, right into the bullpen of the Riptide, but nobody's hurt. Marcus Pointer was out there, and he warned everybody before it got too close. There is somebody in the bullpen for the Riptide. It's Seth Jordan, the lefty. He's had some good work done this year. The 0-2, fastball high and away, 1-2. Joey Parente on the year hitting .357. 2 runs, 5 hits, only 1 RBI. He tips this back to the pitcher, Wenner, and the 1-3 put out for out number 1. Almost the same play that he got taken out of when he didn't run it out, but he learns from his mistakes. That's why he's going to be a big leaguer. 1 out now. Will Proctor out of the 2 spot coming out from Georgia University, the University of Georgia. That's where his sister goes as well. His father played for Georgetown in '84 to '88. He's got baseball in his blood. First pitch, fastball inside, 1-0. Proctor had a good game yesterday, a triple and a single, scored twice. He was my post-game interview, just talking to him about what he's been doing and how he's been able to do so well. Here's a line drive into left field, right through the 56 hole. Mayu dove, but couldn't get it. Proctor's going to be on first with a 1-out single. There's 1 on now for David Miranda. Miranda, one of those guys who could hit it out, 330 to right, 330 to left, and no signal out in center, but I'd say it's about 380. One of the deepest centers and one of the most shallow right and left fields. Miranda can take it out, but he is a guy who really just prefers line drives. Does that remind you of anyone specific? I'm hinting at Mike Schmidt, the Philadelphia Phillies third baseman in the 1980s. 313 home runs in the decade of the 80s. But every time he hit a home run, he said he didn't like it because he prefers line drives, and that's exactly what you get with Miranda. Somebody who's going to make solid contact almost every time, and it's going to be hit hard.
2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Riptide. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors for the Oaks. As Wenner toes rubber, fires the first pitch low and away to Miranda.
First pitch is low and away. It's a ball, 1-0 the count is to Miranda. Miranda 375 and 3 runs, 6 hits. Only one of them an extra base hit. It was a double. He's got 5 RBIs, as I mentioned. That's tied for 6th in the California Collegiate League. The 1-0 pitch. Small lead for Proctor. Fastball low and away, 2-0. Yesterday, a non-league matchup for the Conejo Oaks, winning 11-0 against the Northridge Bulls. They've played 4 league games. They're 3-1 on the year. The 2-0 is a little slider or cutter inside. Check swing, they're going to say he did not go. It's 3-0 now. That's what you want to do if you're Miranda. You don't want to give the pitcher any free strikes. That back foot slider, back foot cutter combination can really throw a hitter off balance. Looks super good coming in middle in and then drops down to your back foot. Super tough to hit. You got to learn to lay off of it. The 3-0 pitch, fastball around the outside corner. Miranda seemed to be taken all the way there.
Special thanks to our statistician and pitch counter, Keith Schneider.
3-1, the count to Miranda. Miranda looking to drive in that runner on first. He has a double on the year, and Proctor does have a very good base running knowledge. Proctor's going. The throw is in time. They got him.
In one motion, takes the throw from Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez popped out behind the plate extremely quickly. Proctor has wheels, but was not fast enough there to take it. First caught stealing of the day. The Riptide do have 2 stolen bases, but Gonzalez getting a little bit of revenge there, saying, no, Riptide, you are not going to haunt my dreams this afternoon.
Gonzalez with a beautiful throw right into the hands of Mayu.
Mayu applied a nice tag as well. It was a little bit to the left. And there's a line drive to left field. Miranda's going to have a base hit, and he's got a very modest 4-game hit streak going now.
Both teams have multiple looks at 4 2-out singles, in the last inning.
So what would have been first and second, 1 out is now runner on first, 2 outs for Eric Wagaman.
And that'll make way now for the cleanup hitter, Eric Wagaman.
Wagaman, first time up,
Sacrifice fly to center.
hit a sacrifice fly to center field, which would drive home Parente after Parente hit a leadoff double and stole second. Miranda goes. The throw is in time once again. This time it's Weinstein applying the tag, but 2 caught stealings in 1/2 inning. Oh my Lord, give him some Gatorade. Give him something. I don't know what. Give him some high fives at least as he gets back into that dugout. Orange County Riptide still up 2-1. We're through 3 full heading into the 4th. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. We'll be right back. Well, the police were over here at the bottom of the 3rd. It was in the name of Juan Gonzalez behind the plate, catching 2 Riptide base stealers. And it remains 2-1. The Riptide lead. A new pitcher out there for the Riptide. It's Seth Jordan. Man from Flower Mound in Texas State University. 6'2", 195. First pitch. Down low from Jordan, the lefty. It's 1-0. Jordan spent his first 2 years of college out at West Virginia. He was for the Mountaineers. In those 2 years, he only pitched 8 2/3 innings, wasn't getting enough, and in those 8 2/3 gave up 8 earned runs, 3 of them home runs. He spent the last 2 summers in the summer leagues playing for the Texas Marshals, and he has been lights out as a starter and a reliever. 3.30 ERA. In his second year with the Marshals, he gave up just 1 run in 10 innings. That's a .9 ERA, everybody. He was lights out, and he's been pretty good for the Riptide here in the early parts of the season.
Superstar playing for the Oaks once again this summer. Takes
The 2-1 pitch.
and that's going to drop for strike 2.
A little cutter on the inside part of the plate. It's 2-2 now. In his 3 innings pitched, gave up 3 hits and 2 walks and struck out 3, but no runs. And he has been pretty good. Yet to give up a run. 2-2 is fouled off to the right side. And we'll do 2-2, take 2. No outs here. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Riptide, 1 run on 6 hits for the Oaks. That's what the Oaks are known for, having an offense that can explode at any moment. But only 1 extra base hit of those 6. And the 2-2 runs in, and it's going to hit Santana. So Santana's going to jog on down to first. He's manly enough, grimaces a little bit, but then just shrugs it off. Tis but a flesh wound. Riptide have had trouble controlling their pitches thus far through the season. They lead the league in hit batsmen. They've hit one in every game of the season since that first game against the Arroyo Seco Saints. The first pitch, a little cutter in outside part of the plate, 0-1. Juan Gonzalez showed bunt there. Pulled it back. The 0-1 check swing, they're going to say he went around on the slider. 0-2. So now it's 0-2.
Oklahoma Baptist product. Making a second plate appearance today.
The 0-2 to Gonzalez, a fastball that runs up high. Seth Jordan loves to throw that fastball up high in 2 strike counts. Looks really good to the hitter off the hand. Looks like it might drop into the strike zone, but then stays up, and a lot of hitters don't have enough bat speed to get around on it. So he takes another fastball that goes down below the knees, evens up the count at 2. Juan Gonzalez hitting .556 on the year. He has been absolutely spectacular. His first time up, he flew out to the right fielder Greenfield. In his 9 plate appearances, he has not walked at all, but he has hit 4 singles, a double, and has 2 RBI. And the 3-2 pitch is low and outside, so from 0-2 to 3-2 and a walk. So Seth Jordan having a little bit of trouble with his control after the hit batsman in the walk. That's going to bring up DJ Miller. Miller, his first time up, dribble it back to the pitcher. That was what led off the top of the 3rd. And the first pitch, a 2-seam fastball that runs away, swung on and missed by Miller. Miller and Chase Cockrell, the 2 people out of Ole Miss for the Oaks. And the 0-1. Big hack and a miss. 0-2 the count now. Miller not normally one to strike out, but he does swing very big. And now Andrew's going to go out and talk to his man Jordan at the mound. Andrews, one of the dugout guys, somebody who keeps the team up and happy when things are down. He has a tattoo on his chest that reads, "Blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family." He told me about it, and he said it's something I try to live my entire life by. Miller pops this one to the left fielder, Husung, and Husung moves slightly to his right and retires his man for out number 1. Runners stay at first and second. That one was pretty shallow. Wouldn't be wise for Santana to try to tag up from second. That's going to bring up the top of the lineup now, Jason Oliver. And Jason Oliver coming in today, 286, 3 runs, 5 RBI, tied with Miranda near the top of the CCL. And here he bunts. Jordan's going to get it. Think about third, but toss over to first. And that's going to get away. It goes behind Oliver, and it's going to get to the wall. Greenfield has some trouble with it. 1 run will score, but Gonzalez thought more about it and stayed back at third. So that errant throw, that's going to be the first error, and that's going to be an unearned run. What would have been second and third, 2 outs, is now second and third, 1 out after that error. So call that a sacrifice bunt and an E1. And now Andrews is going to go out and talk to his man on the mound again, Jordan. Nobody in the bullpen warming up for the Riptide. The final line for Orndorff, the starter, 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Now that's going to bring up Weinstein. That's not who you want to see. It's not who Weinstein 2 for 2 on the day, and with 2 runners in scoring position, he might be able to do some damage here. First pitch. Fastball outside. 1-0.
Starts off these games, and when he gets hot, he stays hot. A perfect position for him now to put the Oaks up in the game.
The runners at second and third are Juan Gonzalez and Jason Oliver. Greenfield catching that one. A little bluff tag there by Gonzalez. He thought about it, thought if the throw was errant, he'd head out, but Gonzalez thinking better of it. Greenfield, one of the best arms in the outfield for the Riptide. He's had a couple laser throws, and just in the top of the second, he threw out a runner trying to steal home with the help of Will Proctor. A nice relay. Wish we had replay. I wish y'all could see it. Now Frankie Tostado, 1 for 2 on the day. A single and a pop-up to the shortstop, Phillip. Runners at second and third. Open first base. First pitch. A changeup just outside. Ball 1.
Not agreeing with that call.
Yeah, but everybody's an umpire when they come to a baseball game, but the only call that matters is the one on the field.
1-0 the count to Tostado. A big swing and a miss. Tried to put 2 more runs or maybe even 3 up on that board. It's going to be 1-1 now. I was talking with our PA announcer, Bailey, before the game, and she said she was really excited for this game, and I said, why? And then she said, because I get to say Tostado whenever he comes up to the plate.
Tostado, the left-handed batter.
Tostado, a lefty.
Back in February, he led his conference in RBIs at 16 as well as home runs with 4.
Count is 1-2 now. Jordan has him right where he wants him. And the pitch. Drilled straight at the first baseman, Polson, who has it on the line drive. So everybody's heart stopped, but everybody's all right. The score is 2-2. The Oaks tied up, and now the Riptide get a chance to take the lead back once again. Stay tuned to the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. We'll be right back. Two to two here at the University of Concordia in Irvine. Sun's starting to come out, and I just got used to the weather. 2-2 the score. The Oaks just tied it up. There were 2 runs, 1 in each inning in the first and second for the Riptide, and then 1 in the third and the fourth for the Oaks. So they have come back and tied it up. So Wagaman going to come up. He was up last inning, but he was up when Miranda got caught stealing for the final out. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6. Wagaman, Polson, and Greenfield for the bottom of the fourth. And Wagaman pops this one up. Gonzalez just out in front of home plate gets underneath it for out number 1.
Quick 1-2.
So 2 pitches, 1 out, and that's going to bring up Polson.
Logan Polson. Come up to the plate.
Polson 0 for 1 on the day.
Native from Huntington Beach, California.
He struck out looking against the man on the mound, Wenner.
The Huntington Beach Oilers to a 25-8 record.
And Polson went to the same high school as our assistant GM, Alex Maloney. And she told me that he was an absolute stud then, and he's an absolute stud now. Takes a curveball in there for strike 1. He was actually supposed to go to UCLA. That's where he was signed. They had a scholarship ready for him, but then had a little bit of trouble with his arm and elbow and had to have Tommy John surgery. And lost his scholarship and just found a place at Hawaii, and he has really excelled there. Actually help out with Big West Productions every now and again. I've gotten to see him play with Hawaii. They're in the Big West Conference.
1-2 the count. Go on, 1 away.
1-2 the count to Polson. Wagaman popped up to the catcher Gonzalez. There's 1 away. 2 runs on 3 hits. It's 2-2. The pitch. Fouled straight at his feet. Polson stays alive. 1-2. The count remains.
Polson batted .276 on the season. Almost .304 on base percent.
Polson out of Huntington Beach, California. He was one of the best high school players that California had when he graduated. He made the list of top 500 prospects. He was number 228. At Hawaii in his freshman year, Polson at .276 while starting 30 games for the Warriors. He scored 16 runs, hit 2 home runs, and had 10 RBIs. And he played a phenomenal first base, made a good play in the top of the 4th, the top half of this inning, a line drive straight to him. He fielded .997. That's unheard of. And the 1-2 is up high with the fastball. It's 2-2 now. He had a very good game against Santa Barbara. A very good set of 2 games against Santa Barbara. 4 hits in those 2 games. 1 hit last night. And the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and hammered to right field toward the line. Oliver moves toward the line and makes the catch for out number 2. So Wagaman and Oliver couldn't get it done. Now it lies on Aaron Greenfield to keep this inning going with 2 outs. Oliver had to run a long way. Even though he was a lefty and the outfield was shading to the right, expecting Polson to pull, Oliver still had to run quite a distance, and he ran very effectively, very efficiently. That route efficiency must have been above 50% at the least. Hear a lot about that on MLB Network now. Players taking route efficiency, catch probability. That was a good catch from Oliver. First pitch to Greenfield is low and outside, 1-0. Greenfield loves to be patient. He has walked more times than any other player on the Riptide team thus far. He takes a fastball. It's 1-1 the count now. Greenfield only 182, but he has walked 3 times. Here he lines this one to the shortstop, Mayu. Mayu has it. Couple hops and a nice dig by Santana and stretch. They get him for out number 3. So a quick inning for Wenner. The score remains 2-2. It's tied. We head to the 5th. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Loefling. We'll be right back. Chase Cockrell going to lead off the top of the fifth for the Conejo Oaks. On the day, Cockrell 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI, and he popped up to the shortstop Phillip back in the first. On the season, coming in today, he was hitting 154 in his 13 plate appearances. No extra base hits, but there's a reason he's in that 4 spot. Head coach David Solis knows he's got power, knows he can make a good contact, just waiting for him to find his swing in the Summer League. 0-1 the count, and the 0-1 is swung on and missed on a little changeup. 0-2 the count runs. Yesterday he was 2 for 5 with 2 runs scored, and he had an RBI as well. And the 0-2 pitch swung on and foul to the right side over at the French Hill Reserve. Count remains 0-2, take 2.
I'm looking at this game, and it's very interesting. 2 runs, 7 hits, and they also have 7 runners left on base. That's a big number as far as the game.
2 runs on 3 hits for the Riptide, 2 runs on 6 hits, and an error. Right at the shortstop, Phillip, a nice play on the backhand, gets it on over the first. And if you're Cockrell, you can't hang your head high. You just got to tip your head and say, nice play. That was very hard hit. And if you're Cockrell, you got to keep in mind eventually those are going to find holes. So after the 6-3, there's 1 out now. And that's going to bring up Grant Mayu. Mayu from Huntington Beach. 1 for 2 on the day, single and a strikeout. That was against Orndorff, though, the Cincinnati man. And Jordan now facing him. 0-1. And the 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, 0-2. Two strikes, no balls, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Tie game. There's a fastball just inside. Tried to cut it back. I'll try to do a little front door movement there with the 2-seamer. But stayed inside. It's 1-2. Jordan, no strikeouts yet since coming in the 4th. Looking for his first. And here it is. Oh my gosh, could you call one better than that? Swing and a miss. He struck him out. I'm not saying I'm a fortune teller, but I'm just saying. So Seth Jordan gets his first strikeout of the day. That's out number 2 here in the top of the 5th. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Riptide. 2 runs on 6 hits for the Oaks. And they also have 7 runners left on base. That is an absurd number through 4 innings. But the Riptide pitching, doing what they can to limit the damage. They have wiggled around trouble all day, but it doesn't look like there might be much trouble. But I've said that before, and I don't want to jinx it. In fact, that 3rd inning where they scored their first run, there were 2 outs and then 4 straight singles. He drills this one to the wall in left field. He's rounding first, and he's going to head to second. Husung has trouble getting it, and it's going to be a stand-up double for Lewis.
Right on cue, John. It's like he was listening to me. A 2-out double for Brandon Lewis.
So a 2-out double puts a runner on in scoring position for Cody Santana. Cody Santana from Hawaii Pacific. Tiger Peterson, the head coach for the Riptide, is actually an assistant coach for Hawaii Pacific, so he knows Santana well, but couldn't pitch around him last time, couldn't pitch to his weaknesses. He's 1 for 1 with a double and a hit by pitch. He has a home run on the season. He won a couple games ago against the St. Louis Obispo Blues, and now he's looking to possibly put the Oaks up for the first time in this game with a runner in scoring position at second. And the first pitch to Santana, 2-seamer on the outside corner, 0-1. Santana actually came to this field during his college year and hit his only home run of the season at this exact field over the right field fence, that 330 mark. And pitch number 2, the 0-1, is a slider. He tried the front door, get it to go back into the strike zone, but it stays inside. 1-1 the count now to Cody Santana. 2 outs here. 2-2. Another slider on the inside corner. This one hits it. It's 1-2 now. It is a good matchup. You got the lefty Jordan on the mound. You got Santana, a lefty, at the plate. And if you're head coach Tiger Peterson, you got to like that. That's everything in the majors nowadays, matchups. You always want the lefty-lefty or righty-righty matchup. The 1-2 is down low with the fastball. Count is even at 2. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. Lewis, a 2-out double. He's standing on second right now, leading off. Defense playing very straight away. Parente shading slightly to the right of second base. And the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Jordan, his second strikeout of the inning, his second strikeout of the game. Score remains 2-2. Riptide have another chance to take the lead. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Wolfling. Stay tuned.
Bottom 3.
7-8-9 coming up for the Riptide in the bottom of the 5th. 2 runs on 3 hits, but they've been able to lump them together, and they've been able to keep it a tie game. They actually had the lead 2-0 going into the 3rd inning, and the first pitch of the bottom of the 5th is low and outside, ball 1. There is a man in the bullpen for the Oaks. It's Ray Lambert. The winner looks like he's going to stay out there for the moment. He's pitched pretty well, giving up only 3 hits. They've just been untimely. One right after the other. Couple that with a wild pitch and a couple of walks as well. And you got 2 runs given up, both of them earned. Wenner had a little bit of difficulty in the first 2 innings where he gave up those 2 runs. He seemed to be staying away from hitters. And then as soon as he got into the 3rd, started coming into players. And he's been doing well. That 2-0 pitch was fouled off. Three Conejo players coming in on that. Weinstein, Santana, and Oliver all became potential catchers, but nobody could get to it in time. It fell, but no harm, no foul. It's 2-1, and Husung will head back. Husung out of Chico State, currently 2nd in the CCL in strikeouts. He swings a big stick, but he does have trouble making contact at times.
Oh, you and your Los Angeles bias, Jonah.
It's always nice to appreciate the Los Angeles focus.
There's a lot of
Not many.
He's from Los Angeles.
You like 3 million people. Wow.
Count is 2-1, 1 out. No outs. And the 2-1 is a fastball on the inside corner. Husung thought that was inside, but he was crowding the plate a little bit, so a little bit closer than he thought it was. This time he'll back off just a little bit and get ready for the 2-2. Man on deck is Mitch Andrews. The 2-2 is fouled straight back over our heads, but I'm safe. Don't worry about it. We are uncovered here, me and the Conejo Oaks broadcasters. And I heard a story that last year there was actually Canopy covering everybody, and that would have been a lot of help because the wind tends to be an issue with the notes. The 2-2 is down low. It's 3-2. Count runs full. Used to be a canopy, but then with all these storms in California late in the year, the canopy blew off, and actually the batter's eye beyond center field is new because that blew off as well. So they have not gotten a new canopy since. They have gotten a new batter's eye. And the 3-2 pitch, low and outside corner, he gets him with the fastball. That gets Husung looking. And Husung not too excited about that call. Who could be excited about a strikeout? But he thought that was ball 4. There were a couple of those instances last night. 2 of them, if I recall. So third strikeout of the afternoon for Wenner. That's going to bring up the catcher, Mitch Andrews. I talked a little bit earlier about Andrews' tattoo on his chest that reads, "Blood makes you related, but loyalty makes you family." I said, "You got any other tattoos?" And he said, "Right below that, I have, in Roman numerals, the birthdays of me, my brother, and my entire family." So you can tell he is very family-oriented, but he doesn't think that blood makes you family. And I think throughout the season he might make a couple brothers on this Riptide team. A new pitcher coming in for the Oaks. It's Ray Lambert. We'll be right back with more Orange County Riptide baseball. You're listening to Michael Hofling. Stay tuned. Ray Lambert, the new pitcher for the Conejo Oaks. First time he's pitching this season. Just got in yesterday. Played for San Diego State, and they just lost to Long Beach in the College World Series. He's going to be facing Mitch Andrews at San Diego State. He had a .663 ERA in his junior year. And the first pitch to Andrews. Fastball just outside, 1-0. And now the Oaks getting him a little bit of a mouthful from the umpire. He's a little bit upset with how they've been treating him. He says that the entire team needs to calm down. They're not enjoying his calls, and the umpire is issuing his team a warning. So the Oaks getting a warning. And they've been very vocal throughout the entire game. You can tell that they all get along with one another. Not uncomfortable to say what's on their mind. But now they might quiet down a little bit. They've been unhappy with the calls. And I can't say for certain if they're right or wrong. But the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss from Andrews. It's 1-1. Andrews lived for 15 years in Chicago before he moved to Texas. He's a Cubs fan, and on the bus ride to Santa Barbara, he was wearing a Cubs jersey, and everybody was thinking, oh, is it Ryan Dempster, Carlos Zambrano, Alfonso Soriano maybe? And it was Chris Bryant. So everybody was a little bit curious as to whether or not he was a bandwagon fan. But then he proved us all wrong, told us about his history in Chicago, and told us about his Ryan Dempster and Soriano jerseys. So he is a true blue Chicago Cubbies fan.
2-2 is the count.
Count is 2-2 now.
Flower Mound, Texas.
Andrews, one of two players for the Riptide out of Flower Mound. The other guy from Flower Mound is on the mound for him. Seth Jordan, the 2-2, swung on and missed a big hack. First strikeout, first batter for Ray Lambert. Now Bo Phillip from San Joaquin Delta Junior College going to come up to the plate. Made a nice play at shortstop to help out his pitcher Seth Jordan in the last half inning. And got Chase Cockrell on one hop. First pitch to Phillip in the dirt. Nice pick by Gonzalez behind the plate, 1-0.
Phillips made the nice throw over
1-0 pitch to Phillip.
Riptide going good defense.
At the knees with the fastball, 1-1.
Pitch catches below straight.
Phillip has struggled a little bit at the beginning to lead off the year.
In the bottom of the fifth.
Batting below 100, below that double Mendoza mark.
Conference North honors at
But he's in there for his spectacular defense, and he's been able to flash leather more than a couple times
pitch outside, catches.
already this season.
Strike zone corner for strike.
The 1-1 pitch caught the outside corner with the fastball. It's 1-2. Finds himself at a disadvantage right now. He has walked once on the year, the 1-2.
That pitch,
Change up, low and outside, 2-2.
2 runs and 3 hits for the Riptide. Meanwhile,
Score is 2-2.
2 runs and 8 hits.
The Riptide were up 2-0 after 2 innings. And the Oaks scored 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth to tie it up. They've got 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 error. One of those runs is unearned. The 2-2 is a fastball at the knees. Catches Phillip off guard, and he struck him out. So Phillip comes in and strikes out 2 guys. That ends the bottom of the 5th. Game is still tied 2-2. We're heading to the 6th inning. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. I'm Michael Loefling. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the University of Concordia in Irvine. Juan Gonzalez going to lead off the 6th inning for the Oaks. It's 2-2.
For the Oaks.
It's been a back-and-forth game. The 1-0 pitch, a 2-seam fastball in the outside corner, 1-1. Seth Jordan, he's considered a very sarcastic man by most of his teammates. On the bus ride to Santa Barbara, he was the only player not wearing blue. One of only 2 not wearing their jerseys before the bus ride. The other player was Mitch Andrews. He's behind the plate. He was wearing his Chris Bryant Cubs jersey. But Seth Jordan was wearing a Hawaiian shirt, bright yellow, looking like SpongeBob a little bit. And I was talking to him about that. I said, is that your usual wardrobe? And he said, oh, I love those. My wardrobe's filled with those. And that one had camels and pyramids on it. And I said, how is that even a Hawaiian shirt? And he just said, I don't know. I just liked it. This 2-2 fouled off to the left side.
To keep the count alive at 2-2.
And we're going to reset. 2-2, take 2. Seth Jordan. He was wearing a yellow Hawaiian shirt and swim trunks. Probably the most comfortable man on that bus. The 2-2 gets popped up to the right fielder, Greenfield. Greenfield is underneath and makes the lazy catch for out number 1.
He didn't change his name to Greenfield. Greenfield is right field. I think I like it a little. I mean, obviously he's not going to change his name just because of his position in baseball, but I think
Coming up next is going to be
a little punny.
DJ Miller, the left fielder.
That's just
Miller is 0 for 2 on the day.
takes the low pitch and outside.
And the first pitch is a fastball in the outside corner.
Daily dose of
0-1.
I wouldn't call it dumb. As Miller taps.
Miller taps another one foul. It rolls over by the Oaks dugout. It's 0-2. 1 out here in the top of the 6th. 2-2 ball game. 2 runs on 7 hits and an error for the Oaks. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Riptide. Those 2 runs came in the first and second inning. They've been pretty much shut down ever since. But just like it's been the case for most season, can't really get much going against the starter, and then as soon as the starter gets pulled out, the Riptide have been able to break through and score a couple more runs. The 0-2 was down low. It's 1-2.
Jokes aren't dumb, so I have to be nice to you.
1 and 2 is the count.
The 1-2 pitch from Jordan, just outside with the cutter, 2-2.
Cutter, but couldn't catch the inside in the strike zone, so 2 and 2. Miller, Ole Miss products.
And the 2-2. Swung on and drilled into left field. That's going to be a base hit. And now he's 1 for 3 after the single. That's going to bring up the top of the lineup, Jason Oliver.
Able to crack that fastball.
And Miller got good wheels. It's something that you're seeing a lot more nowadays, especially in about college level, Division I level. You see the 9th hitter, maybe even the 8th hitter is one of the fastest guys on the team and maybe has a higher average as well. Now we have back-to-back leadoff men in the 9 and 1 spot. And you got your table setter, the guy who makes a lot of contact at the 2. First pitch to Jason Oliver is a swing and a miss on the fastball, 0-1. Oliver on the backswing might have tapped Andrews just a little bit, making sure he's all right. And Oliver, 286 before the day. And here he lines this one into right field, a grounder right past Polson. Miller was stealing, and he's going to go to third on the base hit by Jason Oliver. So Oliver, more of a pole hitter. He has a home run on the year. I believe it was an inside the park home run, actually. So he has speed. Runners at first and third now. And Oliver does have wheels, has a stolen base on the year, but has also been caught stealing.
2 hits so far in this inning for the Oaks.
And coming into today, he had a 905 OPS. He's only going to help that with what he's been doing today. So Weinstein, 2 for 3 on the day, 2 singles and a fly out to Greenfield and right. And in the third inning, he came around to score. He really started off that rally of 4 straight hits, 4 straight singles, that led to their first run of the game in the third. First pitch was a fastball in the outside corner, fouled off to the right, 0-1.
By Jordan on the outside. He's utilized that pitch a number of times today. Also used that cutter as well as the changeup.
Jordan, the pitch,
Swung and missed for strike
0-2.
Weinstein.
Big swing and a miss from Weinstein. Weinstein does not strike out usually. In fact, Weinstein has only struck out twice this entire year through the first 4 games. Has an OPS of 1105, 1.105. That's tough to do. Very, very tough to hit above a 1,000 OPS. Swings and misses and caught by Andrews on the foul tip. That's strike 3. Some you don't see very often. Weinstein strikes out.
Here in the bottom of the 6th. To make that Seth Jordan's 3rd strikeout.
So Seth Jordan's 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. That's going to bring up Frankie Tostado. There is somebody working in the Riptide bullpen. That's Braxton Smith. Braxton Smith came in and pitched in their second game of the 2-game set against Santa Barbara in Santa Barbara. Pitched a pretty good 9th inning. And I was told he might come in today. First pitch to Tostado, right down Main Street. Strike 1.
0-1 in the count for Tostado.
No balls, 1 strike, runners at first and third. And here's a high, deep fly ball to right field. That ball is gone. A 3-run shot for Frankie Tostado. His 2nd home run of the game. And now it's a 5-2 ball game. The Oaks have their first lead of the game.
Homer by Tostado.
And as a Riptide fan, I have to say, I can't approve of that, but it was a beautiful shot. Jordan made a mistake of going in. The target from Andrews was set up low and outside, and when low and inside, Tostado took advantage of the mistake. That's the first home run I've seen at the Riptide game thus far. So Tostado, his second home run in as many days. Now the bases are empty with 2 outs for Chase Cockrell.
0 for 1 swing and make that 0 for 2.
Count is 0-2. Cockrell took the second one. Scores 5-2 after a big home run by Frankie Tostado. And it's a swing and a miss, so Jordan bounces back from the home run and gets Cockrell swinging. And that ends the top of the 6th. First lead of the game for the Oaks. They're up 5-2. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th on the OC Riptide Network. Stay tuned. The Riptide find themselves looking up at the Oaks for the first time this afternoon, and it's the top of the lineup, Joey Parente, who's going to lead things off. A big whistle from his father gets him pumped up. Parente, 1 for 2 on the day, a double, and here he grounds it to the shortstop Mayu off his back foot, not in time. Parente beats it out for a leadoff single. And we might hear more of that whistle all day long if he comes around to score, if he gets a stolen base. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but it's piercing a couple eardrums. So the shortstop Mayu having to stay back on that one. It was a difficult hop. And you can't stay back on Parente. He'll beat you every time. Parente does have a stolen base on the day. It's Will Proctor up at the plate and the pitch. Swung on and fouled straight back, 0-1. Proctor, majoring in international affairs from the University of Georgia, hit .241 with 3 home runs, 17 RBIs as a freshman. Coming out of high school, he was the number 2 ranked shortstop in all of California. And not only that, he can pitch as well. Went 1-0 with a .93 ERA and 14 strikeouts as a junior. That was high school team win the Bay League championship.
Lambert played at Cal State Northridge back in 2015, then made his way to junior college.
Lambert from Cal State Northridge, then headed to junior college for a little bit more experience. The 0-2 curveball fouled off to the right side. Good play discipline by Proctor to just knock that one away, not his pitch. Not in the most forgiving count, 0-2, but he does have a runner on Parente. Ray Lambert not giving too much attention for him, doesn't even look up. Parente fakes the swing and fakes the steal, and it's a swing and a miss from Proctor. That's going to be strike number 3. That's the 4. And the last 4 outs against the Riptide have been via the strikeout. Lambert with 3 of them. David Miranda steps up to the plate now, looking to get his team, the Orange County Riptide, back into this one. Before this game, David Miranda took part in the Sunday service that Concordia University offers. He and Braxton Smith. some of the Riptide players to take place in that. And he said it's an amazing opportunity and something that he looks forward to and is grateful for that Concordia provides for us. Parente leaves, but Miranda fouls that one to the left, so Parente will head back to first. It's an 0-2 count.
Parente got the jump, but the foul sends him back over to first. Miranda for 55.
Ray Lambert on the mound, not giving much attention to Parente. Parente's getting a 3 to 4 step lead.
Staggering 51 RBIs, one of the top stat lines in that contest.
And the 0-2 pitch.
0-2 pitch.
Swung on and drilled into right field. That's going to be a base hit, and Parente's going to be at third. He was already at second by the time it got to him. Miranda thought about heading to second because the center fielder Tostado had trouble playing it, but thought better of it and headed back to first. Now there's runners at first and third with only one out.
Shallow right center sends Parente over to third for the Riptide.
So Miranda doing his duty, getting the runner over to third. Now just 90 feet away for Eric Wagaman. And Wagaman 0 for 1 on the day, had a sacrifice fly in the first that drove in Parente from third, and might be able to do the same thing here. And then popped back up to the catcher about 5 feet in front of home plate. Didn't quite have the distance. Miranda, 51 RBIs for his college. And Wagaman lines this one to the left fielder, Miller, who dives and makes the catch. Tagging at third base is Parente, but getting doubled off is Miranda, who didn't know that that was a catch. So a spectacular Sports Center level play by Miller. And Parente's run will not count. Miranda getting cut off. And that's unfortunate. It's a 5-2 lead for the Oaks still. We're heading to the top of the 7th. Stay tuned to the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Loefling. We'll be right back with more Orange County Riptide baseball. Welcome to the University of Concordia in Irvine. After scouring through the rule books, they're going to count that run from Parente. They're going to say that he crossed the plate before Miranda got doubled off, and a little bit unsure whether or not that would have been a run, but they're going to say it is. So it's 5-3 the Oaks lead. 5 runs on 11 hits for the Oaks, 3 runs on 5 hits for the Riptide. New pitcher out on the mound. It's Braxton Smith.
New pitcher on the mound for Riptide is Braxton.
Seth Jordan went 3,
Louisiana.
gave up 4 earned runs.
Done as the 1-0 pitch is fired in.
And Jordan looking to get picked up by Smith. Here he hops it over to second. Miller does. Out number 1, Proctor tosses it over to Polson at first. So Jordan, 4 runs on 4 hits. 4 strikeouts, excuse me. No walks. His day is done. He looks at a loss right now unless Braxton Smith and the Orange County Riptide lineup can pick him up. Fastball on the outside corner to Jason Oliver. Excuse me, to Brandon Lewis. 0-1 the count. At 4-19 at Pierce College this past year, Oliver did. The 0-1 pitch is fouled off the end of the bat, right underneath Andrews. It's 0-2 now.
10 hits and an error for the Oaks. 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Riptide, and a hotly contested one here in Concordia. The Oaks have now
It's a close game, 5-3.
every single one of their games. This is
The Oaks have hit in double digits in every one of their games. Braxton Smith getting a little pep talk from his man behind the plate, Mitch Andrews.
Head coach David Solis.
Just an incredibly impressive stat showing the depth of this roster in terms of offensive policy throughout the entire
0-2 the count. Smith pitched a couple of innings in that second game against Santa Barbara. Gave up no runs in the first pitch. Caught on the foul tip by Andrews. That's the first strikeout for Braxton Smith. Second strikeout on the day for Lewis.
There are 2 away here in the top of the 7th.
That's going to bring up the first baseman, Cody Santana, the man from Hawaii Pacific, spent his time in the during college playing for Tiger Peterson, now playing against him, trying to do some damage against his team. And the first pitch against Santana is low and inside, 1-0.
Santana does much better against right-handed pitchers, as we talked about and alluded to earlier. With left-handed pitchers on the mound, they tend to try and jam them inside. With right-handed
It's funny, Braxton Smith, in his 1-inning pitch against Santa Barbara, he gave up a run. It was unearned, but there were no hits and no walks. So that one error proved to be quite costly. And the 1-0 pitch is at the knees with the fastball, 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strikeout. 1 strike, 2 away here in the top of the 7th. 5-3
There's 2 outs. Oaks lead 5-3 after the 3-run homer off the bat of Frankie Tostado in the 6th. This is the first of a 2-game set against the Oaks. Second game is going to be Tuesday. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Cody Santana. Smith out of the windup. A long hold, and the 1-2 is grounded. Smith has it, and he's just going to run it on over to first. Underhanded to Polson for out number 3. So Braxton Smith gets a very quick 1-2-3, only 9 pitches needed. The Oaks still lead 5-3, but the Riptide coming up. Oh, you guys feel that? Time to stretch. 7th inning stretch time. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned.
Pitcher on the mound for the Oaks is Joey DeSiglia.
No pitcher for the Oaks. Coming in for Ray Lambert, it's Joey DeSiglia. He's going to face the lefty Logan Polson, his first batter. And the first pitch is a fastball just below the knees, 1-0. 5-3 to score. The Oaks lead after a 3-run homer from Frankie Tostado. Parente has scored 2 of the runs for the Riptide. He's been pretty good at the top of the lineup. Polson takes a fastball at the knees, and on the outside corner, count is even at 1, excuse me. And the 1-1 pitch from DeSiglia is popped into shallow center. Running in on it is Tostado, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Siglia brings a fastball, changeup, slider, curve, and a two-seamer as well. His strikeout pitch is that two-seamer, actually. Likes to throw it above the hands with inward movement. If they do catch up on it, it's very tough to track it, and it's usually just a rollover or a soft little pop-up to left field. But, of course, most of the time they miss it. DeSiglia, despite his small frame, actually has good strikeout potential. There's a fastball down below the knees, 1-0. Aaron Greenfield is 0 for 1 on the day. Second pitch of the at-bat is fouled right behind us. 1-1 the count now. In DeSiglia's one appearance, he pitched 3 1/3, struck out 5 while giving up only 1 hit and 1 walk. This Conejo Oaks team has really proven that up and down their lineup, they can score runs, and up and down their entire pitching staff, they can keep opposing teams from scoring runs. Hence their 3-1, very impressive record. Currently second in the North Division. The 2-1 pitch is high and inside. 3-1 the count runs. We're in the hitter's count. Last year, the Oaks squeezed into the playoffs of the CCL. 21-15 record. Fastball down and at the knees and on the outside corner. Strike 2. Greenfield started heading down to first. Something that a lot of hitters do, trying to change the umpire's mind, thinking, oh, if he thinks it's a ball, maybe I should call the ball. The full count pitch. It's lined into right field. Oliver giving chase, but it is foul and bangs off the right field fence. 3-2 count, it remains. We might be here a while. Greenfield does not like to strike out. Next game is going to be at 4:30 on Tuesday. I'm actually going to spend tomorrow golfing with a Conejo Oaks player. Theron Kay is one of my best friends. He's my golf buddy. 3-2 pitch is high and outside, ball 4. Greenfield's going to head down to first with a leadoff walk. Excuse me, not a leadoff walk. That's going to bring up Luke Husung with 1 out now and 1 man on. Husung looking to do some damage. Husung yesterday went 1 for 4 with a double and 3 strikeouts against the Ventura Halos. He's 0 for 2 today, but reached on a fielder's choice back in the second inning. And the first pitch is lined to the third baseman, Lewis, who has it. 5-4-3 double play. And that's going to end the inning. And it looked like they might have something cooking. It looked good off the bat. But no runs, no hits, no errors. The score remains 5-3. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned. Braxton Smith returns out to the mound for his second inning of work for the Riptide. It's 5-3, the Oaks lead over the Orange County Riptide. And the Riptide need to do something to climb back into this game. They led 2-0 at one point, and then 5 straight runs, and now they're down. Here's a high, deep fly ball. Parente takes a few steps back, and he's underneath it for out number 1. He makes the catch. Juan Gonzalez now 3 for 4 on the day. DJ Miller 1 for 3. Grounded back to the pitcher, flew out to the left fielder Husung, and got a single and would eventually come around to score on that 3-run homer from Frankie Tostado. With 1 away now, Braxton Smith looking to not put anybody on base for the top of the lineup. And first pitch swung on and missed on the fastball, 0-1. 5 runs on 10 hits and an error for the Oaks. 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors for the Riptide. The 0-1 is hit opposite to right field, and Greenfield with the efficient route gets it to out for out number 2. That was good movement by Greenfield. The entire outfield was shaded a little bit to the left. When Miller hit it opposite field, Greenfield had to run a little bit further than he was normally doing. Got a late jump, but got to it just in time. Now it's the top of the lineup. Jason Oliver going to step up to the plate. He's 2 for 4 with a double, a single, a strikeout, and a pop up to the second baseman, Will Proctor. First pitch was fouled off to the left side, right in front of the Riptide dugout, 0-1. He's actually 1 for 4, excuse me. He sacrificed bunt, and then that was the one error caused by the Riptide. 0-1 pitch was inside the fastball. 1-1, the count is even now with 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Something I noticed, Mitch Andrews, the catcher behind the plate, he gets changed into his catcher's gear faster than anybody I've ever seen. Last night against the Halos, he wasn't even catching. Jake Polshin was catching. And still, when he would come in before Polshin was ready, not in his full gear yet, he would be, Andrews would be in full gear, and I was like, oh, that looks like a full change. Cut on missed by Oliver. He strikes out for the second time today. But Andrews, very fast at getting changed into that gear. I've never seen somebody so fast. So a strikeout to Oliver. 3 up, 3 down, the top of the 8th. Riptide still down by 2. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. Stay tuned. New pitcher in for the Oaks in the bottom of the 8th. It's Evan McMillan, the UC Irvine Jr. from Camarillo, California. He's 5'11", 190, but packs a punch. He can reach the mid-90s with his fastball, but can be erratic at times. And if you're the Riptide, you want to get to him early because he can lose confidence pretty quickly. He's only made one appearance for the Oaks, and he blew a save. The one loss on their record was a blown save by McMillan. First pitch to Andrews is a fastball in the outside corner, 0-1. But McMillan, still, he's got great stuff and can blow it by hitters pretty well. No balls, one strike, no outs. Bottom of the 8th is a fastball low and away, just out of the reach of Gonzalez. 1-1, the count is even. 5-3, Oaks lead. It was the final game against the San Luis Obispo Blues in their 3-game set. They were up 4-2 in the 9th. He walked 3 batters and gave up 2 runs. And the Blues ended up winning it in the 10th. So he is looking to come back on this one. Find himself behind 2-1 against Andrews, though. And if you're a Riptide fan like I am, you're hoping that the same thing happens. You're hoping history repeats itself. Andrews rips this one foul to the left side right in front of the bullpen for the Riptide. 2-2, the count is even. How did we get here? It was 2-0 Riptide after 2 innings. Parente had a double and came around to score, and then good base running by Husung led to a run in the second, and it was looking good. I was talking to the coach before the game, talking to some of the players, and they said, we feel good about this one. We're going to get this one. We're going to be 2-3 on this year. But then in the 3rd inning and the 4th inning, a couple of runs for the Riptide, and then it was the 6th inning 3-run homer by Frankie Tostado that put him up 5-2. That 2-2 pitch, his check swung on. They'd say he did not go, so that will run it full. First batter McMillan faces, goes full count. Mitch Andrews, as I've said, a little bit sillier, but when he gets up to the plate, he's all business. Does not like to get out. And the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed by Andrews. He's not happy with himself. First strikeout for McMillan on the first batter he faces.
And McMillan gets his first strikeout on the first batter he faces. Making way for the number 9 here, Bo Phillip.
Now from San Joaquin Delta Junior College, it's Bo Phillip. Phillip 0 for 2 on the day with 2 strikeouts, trying to avoid that sombrero. First pitch from McMillan. Grounded to the right side. A tricky hop off the glove of Santana, and Phillip is going to end up on first.
What a hop, a batter's hop, if you will.
Well, I don't know what to call that, but call that a base hit for Phillip, his first one on the day, and he needs that. That's going to bring up the top of the lineup, Joey Parente.
So an infield single for Bo Phillip.
First infield single we've seen on the day, besides one by Joey Parente where he grounded to the shortstop Mayu and outran it. Parente has good wheels, and he's looking to use those wheels to possibly get on base and get the man on first into scoring position. They're down by 2, and you got the meat of that lineup, 2-3-4 coming up next. First pitch to Parente, just outside with the fastball, 1-0. Man on first, Bo Phillip, via a gopher hole on the infield. 1-0 the count. And the pitch. Fastball at the knees, a 2-seamer, 1-1. There's 1 out here. Andrews led off the inning with a strikeout. Phillip, a infield single. Parente looking to move him over. And the 1-1 pitch. They're going to try the back door, and just in the glove of Santana. That had possibility of ending up in right field, and that's not what you want if you're Gonzalez. So you're up by 2. You want to play it safe. Joey Parente still up there. 2-1 the count with 1 away. Man on first is Phillip. Phillip steals, and he got an enormous jump, and he will get in there without even an attempt. So a nice job by Phillip. He could have walked in there. Gotta thank Mr. Parente for that one. I give credit where credit's due. What can I say? So now a runner in scoring position. Parente looking to hit him home. Shortstop Mayu right behind Phillip. Big swing and a miss. That'll run the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out.
2 strikes for Evan McMillan.
Parente has gotten letters from the Braves and Dodgers. Hopefully in the future he'll be playing for one of those clubs. Best of luck of him in all his future baseball endeavors. The payoff pitch. Check swing and miss. So a half-hearted swing, and he got him. Second strikeout of the inning for McMillan. And now it lies on the bat of Will Proctor. Proctor last night got a triple in the 8th inning. And they would take that here. Miranda on deck is the RBI machine. So if he could get up to bat with a runner in scoring position, they'd have a good chance of tying this game up.
Striding over to the mound, Joe Torres warming up.
Joe Torres, the lefty in the bullpen, warming up the Oaks. Head coach David Slee's going to go out and talk to him. David Slee's also working as the pitching coach in his 11th year.
Raven warming up for the Oaks. It looks a lot like Joe Torres.
They're just talking. Doesn't look like McMillan is going to come out of this one. Perhaps Craven, I was mistaken, is warming up just in case things get out of hand.
To the Riptide broadcaster next to me, I kind of messed him up a little bit.
No, don't even worry about it.
Said that it was Joe Torres warming up. It was Travis Craven. He mirrored what
Will Proctor
So I take full
coming up to bat.
0-2 the count. Stepping up to the plate is Will Proctor.
He's got a runner in scoring position, and Miranda would not mind coming up to bat with a couple of runners in scoring position, boosting his stats. Mayu behind the runner at second. First pitch gets fouled straight back, 0-1 the count. Beginning of the game, it was drizzling a little bit. We got a couple of umbrellas up here, but don't need them anymore. I even got a nice little rubber ducky umbrella from our team manager, Zoe. But no need for it now. It is turned into a beautiful day. The birds are out. Birds are chirping. Hopefully they'll chirp for an OC Riptide victory. Proctor grounds this one to the 56 hole. Lewis has it on to first for out number 3. So a 1-out single from Phillip. Nothing happens out of it. No runs, 1 hit. And the Oaks still lead 5-3. Riptide need to figure out a way to get this one. They're going to face Weinstein, Sestado, and Cockrell in the top of the 9th. We'll be right back on the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Ofling. Stay tuned. Look at this. The first baseman, Logan Polson, headed out there on the mound for the top of the 9th. First pitch to Weinstein. A little bit inside, ball one. He's going to face Weinstein, Tostado, and Cockrell, 2, 3, 4, and they've been menaces for the Riptide in this one. They each have at least one hit. The 1-0 is a fastball at the knees, 1-1. New first baseman coming in for Polson is Phil Steering. Steering, an amazing defender. That's his role on this team, late inning defense. The curveball hit to the shortstop, Phillip, bobbles it a little bit and tosses on over to first, and it gets past Steering. And Weinstein is going to be on second after the error by Phillip. Call that an E6 and an call that a double E6, actually. 2 errors on that play, one for bobbling it and not being able to get Weinstein at first. So Phillip, normally a sure thing over there, but even the best fielders have their off days. Those 2 errors are going to put Weinstein on second. So with no one out, there's going to be a runner in scoring position for Frankie Tostado. His last time up, he had a 3-run dinger over the right field fence. The lefty, Polson deals to the lefty, and it's in the left center gap, but Husung gets it. Tagging from second is Weinstein. He'll get in there standing up. Runner on third, 1 out. So a sacrifice fly from Frankie Tostado. Puts a runner on third, 90 feet away from scoring, and with only 1 out, anything can score him. Infield's going to come in for the Riptide. Bo Phillip playing way off of second base. Middle, very open. If he can time up Polson, he can hit it back up to the middle. There's a huge hole. First pitch, slider on the outside corner, 0-1. 5-3, the Oaks lead. Here's another curveball. Straight at Phillip. They're going to throw home, and it's going to be in time. Andrews applies the tag for the second out. Play by Phillip, bounces back, and makes it up. Makes it up for those 2 errors he had when Weinstein got on base. So call that a 6-2 if you're keeping score at home for the second out, and there's a runner on first, 2 outs now. Grand Mayu heading up in the batter's box. 1 for 4 on the day, 2 strikeouts, a ground out to the second baseman Proctor, and a single in that third inning that would drive in a run. First pitch is grounded up the middle. Proctor has it, just underhanded to Phillip at second. He'll go the short way, and that's out number 3. So 1 run, no runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 man left on base. 5-3, the Oaks lead. Come on, Riptide, let's see if you can climb back in this one. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 9th here at the University of Concordia Irvine. I'm Michael Oefling. Stay tuned to the Orange County Riptide Network. We got a wildcat, but not exactly a wild card out there on the mound for the Oaks. Robbie Mendel out of the University of Arizona, and he was spectacular for them. Pinch hitter coming into the game for the Riptide. It's going to be Cooper Ohl coming in for David Miranda. Cooper Ohl, fresh from his injury received in the game against the Santa Barbara Foresters.
Former team of Santa Barbara Foresters. As the righty steps
And the pitch.
Low inside.
Low and away, ball 1 to Ohl.
Robbie Medell from the University of Arizona in his second year with the Oaks.
Medell, he's a fellow broadcasting major. Spends his time doing play-by-play in the off-season.
In the semifinal last year against the Neptune Beach.
And the 1-0 pitch. Popped up into right field in foul territory, drifting back on it, and getting it is Cody Santana for out number 1. So we're glad to have Ohl back, and in his first at-bat back, he pops up to the first baseman. Hopefully in future games, he can start once again like he did in the first 2 games of the season and provide what was a spectacular bat and great defense behind the plate. He'll get back into that rotation with Polshin and Andrews as soon as he can. So with 1 away now here in the bottom of the 9th, still down by 2, the Riptide are facing a huge disadvantage. First dish from Mendel to Wagaman. There's a breaking ball in the outside corner, 0-1. Wagaman versus Medell. 3-5 and the pitch, the 0-1. Pretty much the same pitch, but this one just a little bit outside. That's going to be 1-1 now.
That'll even the count at 1-1.
Yeah, that would look like that caught the bottom corner on the outside.
Medell fires in the 1-1.
The 1-1 pitch, a fastball at the knees, 1-2. And he is loving that curveball right now. Has gone to it twice so far in this at-bat. This is his first appearance for the Oaks. The 1-2 is popped right above our heads. Over the hill, through the woods. But I don't think there's a grandmother's house back there.
Over the mountain and through the woods. Out of play.
Wagaman, the count is still 1-2. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. They need to get a runner on. The 1-2 fouled straight back.
The ball almost didn't change. It's
Juan Gonzalez unable to keep that in his glove.
the bottom of the bat.
Such a special pitcher.
As I mentioned, this is the first appearance for Medell. The Oaks currently tied with the Ventura Halos for first in the Central Division of the California Collegiate League. The 1-2 pitch, low and inside, 2-2, it's even. The Ventura Halos, if you watched our broadcast yesterday, actually beat the Riptide yesterday. And they're playing the Long Beach Legends today. The Legends are 0-1. That's going to happen later today, but the Oaks looking to get the lead in that division. Excuse me, I got my tongue twisted there for a second. Cody Santana gave chase to that first base foul side. Couldn't get to it. Count remains at 2-2.
We're inclined to give it to him. We'll work that out and let you know when that happens.
1 away here, bottom of the 9th, 5-3, the Oaks lead.
5-3, the Oaks lead. 2-2. Count 1 away.
2-2, take 2. The pitch swung on and popped into left field. This one looks like it's going to be out of play, though, but only a couple inches out of play. And the third baseman, Lewis, running hard into that chain link fence, bounces right off of it. He's all right. So we'll get back into the plate and back on the mound. They'll do take 3. Thank you for joining us here on the OC Riptide Network. Hopefully we can see a comeback here. Riptide looking for their second win of the season, trying to move to 2-3 on the year. The Oaks looking for their 4th win of the season. They're up by 2 right now. Second game of this 2-game second to take place on Tuesday. It's going to be at Conejo. Theron Kay going to be the probable pitcher in that one from what I've heard. And the 2-2 drilled, looked like a cannon, but it running back on his Tostado, he'll get underneath it and make it for out number 2. So it sounded like a cannon off the bat, but that center field is very deep here at Concordia. And now there's going to be 2 outs. The last chance is going to be Logan Polson. And here's a little tidbit for y'all. Polson came into pitch in the last half inning, but he's still in the lineup, which means that the designated hitter spot has actually just been eliminated for the Riptide in this 9th inning. First pitch to Polson. High and outside, ball 1. On deck is Greenfield. Steering will come up should they get to him. 2 outs. The 1-0. Fastball, 2-seamer on the outside corner. Count is now even at 1. Tiger Peterson playing very close to Tiger Peterson, the head coach, the third base coach, right now when the Riptide are at bat. He's only a couple feet away from the foul line, playing with fire a little bit. The 1-1 is a curveball that gets in the dirt, 2-1. Trying to make sure Polson gets his signs. So trying to get as close to his eye line as he can. 2-1 the count. And the pitch. Way outside, 3-1, easy take for Polson.
5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 3 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Riptide.
At one point in this game, the Riptide led 2-0. Since then, it's been all Oaks. They've scored 5 consecutive. The Riptide got 1. There's a swing and a miss. Full count now. It was 5-2, and then Parente scored again in the bottom of the 6th. Made it 5-3, and it's been that way ever since. Conejo pitching has been lights out. The full count pitch. Swung on and fouled. A little chopper toward the Conejo Oaks dugout on the right side. And we'll reset. Polson very good at making adjustments while he's at bat. He can go away, but he is a pole hitter. The 3-2. Swung on and lined into center. Tostado has a jump on it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So that's going to be the final out of the game. Polson gave it a ride, but Tostado got a good jump. So that's going to be the 3rd straight loss for the Riptide. Not off to the greatest start. Now fall to 1-4 on the season. The Oaks move to 4-1. And for the moment, move to 1st in the Central Division of the California Collegiate League. Stay tuned for the post-game interview. We'll have some of the Riptide players talk to us about the game and upcoming games and how they feel about their status in the league. Thank you for tuning into the OC Riptide Network. I'm Michael Oefling. We'll be right back.